apartments. Our 12 News crew at the scene saw 7 fire trucks with Beaumont firefighters working to put it out. First responders got the call around 8:15.
Then at 8:16, the Beaumont Fire Department responded to a fire at the Twisted Egg Shack on Dallin Road. Fire crews arrived quickly, were able to bring the flames under control before the blaze could spread. No injuries have been reported, and the cause of the fire is still under investigation. We'll continue tracking this story and bring you the latest updates on air and online as new information becomes available. Meanwhile, a red flag warning is in effect for several southeast Texas counties. The National Weather Service issued that warning this morning for Hardin, Tyler, Jasper, and Newton counties. Jefferson and Orange counties are not included.
And in Hardin County, Judge Wayne McDaniel is urging residents not to burn through at least Thursday and possibly longer. In a Facebook post, he cited extremely dry conditions and elevated fire danger, saying burning limbs, logs, trees, or pastures is not safe right now. And in Orange County, ESD number 1 is seeing a similar warning, asking people to hold off on any outdoor burning for the next few days.
Chief Meteorologist Patrick Vaughn joins us. Patrick, when are we going to see some relief here?
Well, it looks like it's even going to be windier coming up tomorrow. We could see some wind gusts 30-35 miles an hour before things start improving as we work on into, say, Friday. That's why we've issued another weather impact alert for tomorrow between 9 a.m. and 6 p.m. High risk for wildfires across southeast Texas. So this means that fires could easily start and spread rapidly because of the winds that are going to be fairly brisk across southeast Texas tomorrow. Right now, we're looking at temperatures in the mid to upper 50s. No rain on the Pro Roofing Concept satellite and radar loop. And look at this, 13 to a whopping 20 degrees warmer than 24 hours ago. It's all about the wind changing direction. Yesterday, winds were calm as high pressure set over our area. Now we're seeing south winds at times up to 55, or I should say about 15 miles an hour. Tomorrow, those warm winds will kick afternoon high temperatures into the mid to upper 70s across the area. And again, that winds gusting to 30-35 miles an hour combined with that high fire risk will give us that weather impact alert for tomorrow. Tomorrow night, as we head towards Thursday night, maybe an isolated shower. We're up to 80 on Friday. More on your weather impact forecast coming up on 12 News.
Well, 12 News is your election headquarters. A race is shaping up in Jefferson County Precinct 4 where voters will decide who will serve as their next justice of the peace. Incumbent Judge Justin Chasson is seeking another term.
His challenger, Marcelo Mo Molfino, says it's time for a new approach. 12 News reporter Spencer Plato spoke with each candidate on what they'll bring to the bench.
Nick Cladra, in Jefferson County's Precinct 4, it's experience versus a call for change, as voters choose between the current judge and a longtime community leader hoping to take the bench.
This is the next step, I think, to help grow our community, especially in Precinct 4, for the needs of that office and what the need of the community is.
A race for who will hold the gavel next in Jefferson County Precinct 4. Longtime community member Marcelo Mo Molfino is challenging incumbent Justice of the Peace Justin Chasson, arguing growth in the precinct calls for a new approach on the bench.
With that growth comes problems in our schools, our teenagers, our young adults, even our parents. There is substance abuse, there is mental health issues, there is all different kinds of things that the court doesn't have to just impose a sentence or cause a fine.
Molfino says he wants to make court more accessible.
We're going to try and facilitate having court out here in China so that people don't have to drive 20 miles all the way back to Finette, so that people can receive representation right where they live.
But throughout his 4-year term, Judge Chasson says his time on the bench has delivered stability.
This office is the only office in the county that ends up in the positive every year.
Chasson says fairness is the foundation of his courtroom.
I have a deep feeling in my body that I am a fair and honest person to every person that walks into this courtroom.
He says the court isn't just fair, it's efficient.
Spent some money this past year on upgrading some stuff, some computer stuff and display screens and stuff like that we have in the courtroom for cases.
For Molfino, he leaves voters with one final message.
If you want your voice heard, if you have an opinion, then you have to vote to make that heard.
Early voting runs until Friday, February 27th. You can watch both candidates' full-length interviews on 12 News Plus. In studio, Spencer Plato, 12 News.
Spencer, thank you. All new at 10, Orange City Council has officially approved all 3 final readings. It clears the way for an HEB development in Orange. The unanimous votes make the deal final, including economic development incentives tied to the new store at Highway 87 and I-10 West. The agreements include up to $1.5 million for infrastructure, along with sales and property tax rebates over the next 10 years. It's a move city leaders say will boost economic growth.
Tonight, Newton County has started paying back the state more than $800,000 tied to flood grants they received between 2018 and 2020. It's a hefty price tag, but will it impact taxpayers? 12 News spoke to the Newton County judge about this, and Newton County received FEMA flood buyout grants from 2018 to 2020. The money was meant to purchase 7 properties and demolish the structures. According to Judge Cochran, the project should have been completed in 2020, but delays, including COVID, pushed the project back. The county had applied for extensions, receiving them for 2 years, but were denied back in 2023. The homes have been demolished, but Newton County still must repay the state.
No tax dollars, as far as people paying property tax, will be used for this payback. We will use the property sales that was purchased in the buyout to totally repay.
County Judge Cochran says the $225,000 will be paid by the end of the week, and then the county will be put on a payment plan. Well, a $10,000 bond has been set for a Lumberton ISD bus driver.
This comes after investigators say he drove a bus while intoxicated. District officials say Glenn Siemens was arrested yesterday for a DWI with a child passenger. There was a suspicion of impaired driving on a student route. When he returned from his route, police say Siemens smelled like alcohol. He took a test that determined he was above the legal limit and now sits in jail awaiting trial. A man will spend the next 15 years behind bars for child sex crimes. This morning, Angel Collazo entered a guilty plea rather than face a possible 99 years in prison. He was arrested and indicted back in 2023. He also faces a federal offense for which no bond is set. Now in America, President Trump rallied for support tonight during a State of the Union address.
Yeah, the president's speech was set out to focus largely on the economy as he continues to pitch his agenda, with some Democrats skipping out on the speech. Reporter Christian Cordero has more.
Tonight, President Trump speaking before a deeply divided Congress, trying to convince Americans he's delivering on campaign promises.
With the great, big, beautiful bill, we gave you no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security for our great seniors. And we also made interest on auto loans tax deductible the first time, but only if the car is made in America.
Republicans are touting the economy, while Democrats try to capitalize on the rising cost of living ahead of this year's midterm elections. A new ABC News Washington Post Ipsos poll shows 57% of voters disapprove of how the president is handling the economy. And last week, the Supreme Court upended a key part of Trump's economic agenda when it ruled most of his tariffs unconstitutional. Some Supreme Court justices sat just feet away from the president tonight.
Just 4 days ago, an unfortunate ruling from the United States Supreme Court. It just came down. It came down. Very unfortunate ruling.
Among the invited guests in attendance, Erica Kirk and the Olympic-winning U.S. men's hockey team. Dozens of seats typically taken by Democratic lawmakers sat empty, deciding to rally outside the Capitol instead.
Donald Trump, the Republicans, have made this country sicker, poorer, and less secure. Millions of Americans right now are without health care. The poorest of our country are trying to figure out how to make ends meet and how to pay for that grocery bill because they needed an extra $1 billion for their billionaire friends.
Many of the Democrats who chose to attend said they did so in silent defiance. The president tonight also announced what he's calling a new ratepayer protection pledge, saying AI companies will now pay for their own power needs. It's an attempt to address the rising cost of energy in some neighborhoods surrounding data centers. Christiane Cordero, ABC News, Capitol Hill.
Well, here locally, the superintendent of Hardin-Jefferson ISD is announcing his retirement. Brad McEachran says he plans to retire this summer, capping off 32 years in education, including 7 years leading Hardin-Jefferson. McEachran called the district family and said that he's proud of the progress made, with details on the transition to come.
Students at Port Arthur ISD got a first-hand look at career options in Southeast Texas today. The district hosted a career and technical education fair showcasing more than 17 career pathways. Programs range from automotive and healthcare to IT, digital communications, and web design. District leaders say the fair helps students and families see real-world opportunities up close.
Christus Health is receiving a $2.4 million grant to expand clinical simulation training across Texas. Now, the funding awarded by the Texas Workforce Commission will support hands-on training to improve patient safety and quality of care. Nearly 500 Christus associates will benefit, receiving about 2,000 hours of advanced training with the focus on strengthening care in rural communities.
And the community turned out today for Calder Baptist Church's annual Soup for the Soul fundraiser. The event raises money to support the church's mission, ministries, and local organizations. Proceeds benefit groups including Antioch House, Some Other Place, The Corner Store, and Single Moms Empower Education. Event coordinator Linda Micklemore says this helps the church's mission. And still ahead tonight, this Black History Month, 12 News is taking a closer look at the health of black women.
Yeah, why a new national study is working to change cancer outcomes for generations. Plus, how local voices are helping lead the way.
Tomorrow's going to be a windy day across Southeast Texas, likely to see wind gusts 30, maybe 35 miles an hour, lower winds on Thursday.
High school basketball tournament action continuing tonight. Some teams move on, some go home. We'll tell you who. That's later in 409 Sports.
Well, this Black History Month, 12 News is taking a closer look at the health of black women who face higher rates of cancer.
And now a national study is working to cut those rates. It's called Voices of Black Women. 12 News reporter Spencer Plato has more.
Navigating healthcare is about being heard, being believed, and being seen. But for some, even a routine doctor's visit can feel like they're being overlooked.
Even going to the doctor, my experience is different than that of someone that is not black.
With cancer on both sides of her family, Dr. Belinda George says she understands the stakes. She believes outcomes are shaped just as much by the environmental factors as they are genetics.
The red tape with black people where they live, we end up in places that are near things that we shouldn't be near.
That's part of the reason the American Cancer Society launched Voices of Black Women, a long-term national study enrolling women ages 25 to 55 who have never been diagnosed with cancer to complete a survey twice a year. More than 5,500 women have joined so far. The goal is 100,000.
The thing about cancer, as you know, in any population, it has no face, no name.
For Ambassador Shamika Dukes and many other participants, the mission hits close to home.
We've had some recent losses and we've had some survivals over the years, but my family history makes voices even more personal.
According to the American Cancer Society, even as cancer death rates are declining overall, Black women still face the highest death rates.
Black women under 40 have higher breast cancer rates than any other group. That in itself, for me, is a reason for us to be looking forward or looking to help future generations.
It's data doctors say can't be ignored.
To know why these variations occur, and also the reasons why Black women are 40 times more likely to die from their disease than their white counterparts. Another factor is that Black women tend to have more aggressive disease. Triple-negative breast cancer is more prevalent in Black women than in non-Black women.
That's why Dr. Chisaroka Chindu with Baptist Hospital says screenings matter.
Don't rely on your family history to make decisions about screening or getting preventive care. So make sure that you're getting checked if you're at the right appropriate age. So usually women 40 and above should be getting mammograms.
Another key piece is representation. The scientists leading the study are Black women themselves.
An exciting thing to see that there are individuals who look like the study sample or the sample group.
For Dr. George, the study is about something bigger than today.
The study may not be complete before I leave this earth, but there'll be a young Black girl sometime down the road. Her life will be saved because of this study.
For these women, it's a study rooted in hope that what's done now will protect the next generation. In Beaumont, Spencer Plato, 12 News.
Researchers are enrolling Black women ages 25 to 55 nationwide who've never been diagnosed with cancer.
Yeah, we have a link on our website at 12newsnow.com.
Good evening, Southeast Texas. Looking at temperatures tonight to bottom out into the low to mid 50s across the area. And it looks like a warm afternoon, a warm, windy afternoon with highs into the mid to upper 70s, as we do not expect any rain, but there is a high wildfire risk or potential coming up for tomorrow afternoon. Right now, we're looking at mostly clear skies, just a little high cloudiness over the area. This view of Port Arthur, courtesy of Market Basket, and over in Orange, courtesy of the Horseman's Western Store. They're currently at 60 degrees on the Roofing 911 Skycam network. In your weather headlines, a warm, windy day tomorrow. Could see wind gusts 30 to 35. And then for, say, a Thursday night, maybe an isolated shower as a weak cold front comes through. A little cooling, but the weekend looks fantastic. And then it's going to be warm and, well, actually above normal as far as temperatures and dry weather early into next week. Again, another weather impact alert for tomorrow from 9 a.m. till 6 p.m. for the potential for wildfires. The risk is high tomorrow across Southeast Texas mainly because of the winds. Otherwise, the humidity should be fairly low and the fuels are dry. We're talking about grasses, brush, all that is dry. Otherwise, do what you can to reduce activities that could create sparks. As I said, it's going to be a windy day. Could see wind gusts 30, 35 miles an hour tomorrow afternoon, and that's why there will be a wind advisory for most of Southeast Texas. Afternoon high should be around 69 this time of year. We go to our average high is 70 on Thursday. So as you can see, every day is at least 7, 8 to 10 degrees warmer than normal over the next 7 days. So spring weather fans are going to be enjoying this. We don't expect much rain with that front Thursday night, maybe a few hundredths of an inch and a few showers, small chances. Right now, otherwise, as you can see, temperatures are in the mid to upper 50s, some high clouds overhead on the Pro Roofing Concepts satellite and radar loop. Over at Port Arthur, MJ Pontegra reporting 60 degrees. Up to the north in the lakes, that is Ann Burroughs reporting 54 and Fred Ricky Stewart at 57. Across the state, we're some of the coolest weather because we're closer to the cold high that is moving away from the area. Southerly and southwesterly winds over the state, keeping temperatures actually warmer into the 60s, and temperatures across the state are good 15 to 25 degrees warmer than 24 hours ago. Again, just some high cloudiness right now. We're also watching some low clouds trying to move in from the south, and we may see those by morning. Otherwise, as I said, a good 20 to 25 degrees warmer than what we saw this morning. Coming up tomorrow morning, should be into the 50s. And then tomorrow, how about partly cloudy to partly sunny skies as highs reach the mid to upper 70s. On the Gulf, looking at slightly choppy seas, I should say rough seas tomorrow, around 4 to 5, maybe some occasional 6s out there. Small craft advisory will be in effect for south winds at 15 to 20 knots. Our forecast tonight, mostly clear to partly cloudy, lows in the 50s. And then tomorrow, windy day, highs mid to upper 70s, no rain expected with partly to mostly cloudy skies. Taking a look at your weather impact 7-day forecast. Again, a weather impact alert for tomorrow between 9 a.m. and 6 p.m. because of high fire danger. Do what you can to reduce any activities that would produce sparks. And again, we're expecting that next weak front coming in Thursday night. Don't expect much out of it. Maybe a 20% coverage up in the lakes and very little here in the triangle as we head on into Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Just fantastic weather this weekend. Enjoy.
Tough night for Lamar baseball out in College Station. The Cardinals and the Aggies went head-to-head. We have a recap that's coming up in 409 Sports.
.409 Sports, brought to you by Golden Triangle Emergency Center, Orange.
Good evening, sports fans. Our outdoors reporter, J.D. Batten, has finished his crappie top, and he can't wait to show you. And a tough day for Lamar baseball in College Station, but we begin with some high school hoops. In the 4A Division II regional semifinal, Bridge City Lady Cards took on the LaGrange Leopards in a back-and-forth battle, but the Lady Cards get the win, 46-43. They will face Madisonville in the regional final for a chance to go to state. Boys by district round action, number 2 Westbrook opening up with Angleton. The Bruins handle business, getting the win 77-51. They advance to the area round at the end of the week. And the Beaumont United Timberwolves taking on Friendswood in the opening round. This one was closer than the score says, but BU gets the win 57-46. They are on to the area round as well. 4A D2, Silsbee Tigers faced off against the Madisonville Mustangs. Tigers get the W 63-56. They're heading to the next round, and a tough draw for the Hardin Jefferson Hawks. They see Houston Wheatley in the first round, put up a good fight, but they lose at 81-65. Their season has come to an end. Down in 3A Division I, the Orangefield Bobcats were able to cut down the Diboll Lumberjacks 70-49. They're moving on to the next round. And on to some baseball. The Lamar baseball team was out in College Station to take on number 23 Texas A&M, and the Aggies were not nice. The Cards had some pitching woes this season. The Texas A&M bats were just on fire tonight. LU drops this one to the Farmers 25-5, but it's on to bigger and better for the Red and White. They will open up Southland Conference play with a 3-game series against the Vaqueros from UT-RGV this Friday. First pitch on Friday set for 6:05. Saturday, 5:05, and they will finish things up on Sunday with a 1:05 start time. All games will be out at Vincent Beck Stadium. Go Big Red. And our outdoors reporter J.D. Batten kept his word and completed his crappie top. Take a look.
I tell you what, we are at the end. This is the last one, a total of 5 of them that we put out in the last 2 days. And I meant to tell you that, once you get all your parts, like I had last week on the show there, get all your parts. You have to have them. You cannot put this thing together and then carry it out on the water. You have to start from bare scratch, which would be the bucket and the main pole. You put that out in the water, the main stem, and then you go through there and add the arms. It turned out really great. What it's going to take is going to take a little bit of time for the slime to build up on these pieces of pipe. And once it does, then the crappie will show up to feed on the minnows that are in there licking that slime off that pole. It's really been a great time. Had a great help. Brent was just unbelievable. He can pick up a bucket. I can't. But we've done a great job. And it's JD and Brent for 12 News Outdoors.
Here we go.
Here we go. Here we go.
He pushed it off into the water, so let's go down there and do some good fishing. When I went out there with JD, we didn't do all of that stuff. I guess he already knew where all those were.
We keep hearing these stories about you. Is there video proof of that?
There is, yeah.
I want to see some. I want to see you guys have some big fish. We need to go out there, see if we can catch some sharks or something.
Some sharks?
Not on the lake. Yeah, not on the lake. You don't want to catch some sharks on the lake.
I'll catch a whale. It don't matter to us. As long as we're catching something.
Catch dinner.
Just bring home the salmon. That's the kind of fish I like.
Yeah, now you're talking.
All right, we'll have a final check of your forecast after the break.